Hey y'all, Big Tim here. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Old School Ambassador Big Tim. You've caught me going through my tackle here. I do this every year in January, February, somewhere in there. And I go through all of my tackle boxes, cut all the old line off that may be in there, check for bad hooks, replace the hooks. And also, I like to call out some of the old tackle that has been just riding in the boat taking up space. My rule of thumb is, if it's sit in the boat for more than 5 years and I haven't used it, and it doesn't have a specific application, because it may be, if you have a specific application, you may only run into that, every 5, 6, 7 years. So unless it fits a specific application, it's out there. It's just taking up space. So all of these are coming out. I realize that here's a perfect example. I realized that I really love the Spro RK crawlers, or as we call them, rock crawlers. So I'm going to eliminate my Storm Wiggleworts. Never was a fan of them from the fact that they're so light, they're harder to cast, particularly in the wind. DT16, don't really use it much. Started getting more and more into the KVDs, and so this is out. Storm Chug Bug. Used to be my favorite top water lure. And I'm going to always keep one with me, but I had 3 or 4. So I took this, and it's going to sit to the side. Got a couple wooden baits that I'm going to be selling probably. This is a wooden lure I'm probably going to be selling or trading or something else. A lot of the stuff I'll sell or trade, and others of it I'll end up keeping. Just keep it off to the side and have it not sitting in the tackle box taking up space. So, the reason I'm doing this is because you're making room for more tackle. And I said I had an announcement to make. And actually I have several announcements to make. One of which really shouldn't be a surprise. Last year we had really given serious consideration to fishing the Bass Nation tournaments last year. And that's going to happen this year. The big announcement for me is the fact that for the first time in probably 8 years, I guess, I'm going to try to give it a run at the Angler of the Year program. I haven't done it in the past, mainly because there's always been a scheduling conflict. For some reason, the Bass Nation always loved to schedule the first week of June, which is almost always the Triton Owners Tournament. But this year there is no Triton Owners Tournament, so I'm going to go for the Angler of the Year. And I'm going in this year with a whole new mindset. I'm going to do things a lot differently than I've done in the last few years. I'm going to kind of get back into some of my old habits, try to make them habits again, and do some things that I just kind of stopped doing for some reason. We'll get into that later on down the road. One of the things that I'm going to consider right now is the fact that gasoline is fairly cheap, and in my tournaments in the past, I've been fishing basically thinking about how much money you're spending for the tournament, and is it worth making the run for the gasoline and whatnot. And I'm not going to be considering that this year. I'm going to go out, and if I need to go somewhere, if I think they're 30 miles away, I'm going 30 miles away. So that's something that's going to change this year. Also, I got a sponsor. Now, granted, it's only for one tournament, but Lori has decided to sponsor me for one tournament. And I'm sure that's going to be the tournament here on the Ohio River, because that way I won't have to pay for hotels or whatnot. But that's good, because if she sponsors me for the first tournament of the year at Dale Hollow, I won't have the chance to get the carpet graphics. She wants to get her face blown up right there on the front of the boat. And since it's only one tournament, I don't have to have the boat wrapped. But she does want her face on carpet graphics. And of course, I got to get a jersey. She wants, her picture right there. So that's the way it is. What'd you say? So, yeah, we got to get jersey and carpet graphics now. So that's kind of what you got to do for your sponsors, right? Anyway, yeah, I'm sitting here thinking, I'm getting things ready, I'm going through my tackle, I'm getting new tackle. That's part of the process of doing the culling too, because you got to make room for new stuff. So, you know, thinking about getting ready for Dale Hollow. I mean, anybody that's fishing these days, you've got to have one of these bad boys. The Fire Crawl Jackhammer. I've got a couple of them. Was able to find them basically thanks to Matt Robertson for one of his new sponsors. He went live and advertised that they had some, so I jumped on it. Granted, these are 3/8 and I prefer half ounce, but I'll add a little weight to them somewhere down the line. Got a couple spinner baits that have been hard for me to find. Got a couple reels. And one other big thing that's happening, this is kind of an announcement. The fact that I'm really actually considering retiring my carrot stick. My big brush hog beat down carrot stick. It is a 711 double extra heavy and pretty stiff. You can see I generally jerk some fish right out of the water with it. And sometimes I was having problems, you know, with the trees up above, even though I'm sitting down. So I decided to try something new. So in place of the carrot stick, this is a new rod that I'm going to be trying this year. I'm real excited about it. This is a Phoenix Feather FTX. Now this is a 7-foot heavy. I was actually going to use a medium heavy, but when I felt their medium heavy, it was a little softer than what I'd like. So I decided to choose this one. Mainly I got this rod as a jig rod because if you guys had seen my jig rod, it's in bad shape. In fact, one of the Shimano reps begged me to get rid of it and he would give me a new rod to replace it. But they didn't make exactly the same model. So it is pretty hideous. It still does the trick. It still works. It still feels incredible. It's really got a good feel to it. That's why I haven't gotten rid of it. And I had bought this rod to replace that. But now I think it's going to be my A#1. I paired it up with my Concept C. And this is the one that we showed you on the last video that Sam had cleaned up for us from Dominator Reel Tuning. And real excited to get this bad boy out there and see if we can get on a brush hog. Might happen at Dale Hollow. Probably not. It's probably going to be a winding tournament, but I just can't wait to get this thing going. I've been working on a boat, getting it all ready. So in a few weeks, we're going to be ready for this Dale Hollow tournament. Like I said, I'm going into it with a new frame of mind. This year, the Bass Nation has guaranteed the winner a $1,000 purse for the boater side. And while I'm not fishing for the money this year, it sure would be nice. My goal, quite simply, is to win. It's been a long time. I want to win. I want to prove it to myself that I can still be competitive. That these young guys don't necessarily have everything on us old guys. And yeah, I do want to go out and have some fun. But that is not my primary goal this year. My primary goal is to win. I'm going in with that mindset. So my goal this year is to go in and not worry about money or what anybody else is doing and not try to get spun out. I'm trying to get my head more mentally tough like it used to be and just not worry if anybody's around me. That's a tough thing for me. But that's something I'm going to be concentrating on. Really and truly, my main motivation is to win. I just want to win. I want to prove it to myself that I can still do it, that I can still be competitive, and I want to prove it, you know, old guys aren't over the hill. And what really got me fired up about this season was it came up on my Facebook post a few weeks ago, I guess it was, about Rick Clum saying that never think that your best days are behind you. And that really touched home with me several weeks ago and made me start thinking and gave me more motivation. So I'm pretty motivated now, and I'm just going to fight through the pain. I did not get any knee surgery. I tried a couple of different things with the knees that didn't pan out, but I did have a nice cortisone shot that lasted me for about 3 days, and man, I was dancing. I felt incredible good, but that's all it lasted. So we're going to go out there, fight through the pain. Doesn't matter how bad it hurts. And I'm going to rely on some of the younger guys to help me. I've got Jake going with me as my guaranteed non-boater. And so he's going to help me out. That's going to be a benefit. And of course, Joey and anybody else, you know, I know a few of the younger guys will be willing to help me get some things done. Heck, I might even catch a big enough bag, hopefully, that I might need help carrying it in. That would be awful cool. But looking forward to the season. Gonna give you some videos about how I'm setting up for everything. Gonna give you some videos of on the water and practice. However, those videos will not come out until after the tournament's over, because I'm gonna be a lot more serious about it this year. I am gonna definitely be filming. I'm also gonna be getting a new GoPro soon. That one will be on the dashboard so that it can stay plugged in all the time, and we won't have to worry about batteries. So that'll be a big benefit. So the one thing that I am concerned about is the fact that when I make these videos, a lot of times people watch the videos to find out where you're fishing. And that's always a concern. It never was a big deal for me because I was competing. But you'll notice that sometimes I fish a lot of the same areas, and people seek those areas out nowadays. You know, I heard somebody say, well, we always know where you fish on Williamstown. We've been trying it. Yeah. So I also know that the year that I won my first state championship down on the Ohio River, I was back up in Sugar Creek. And I'd never really caught fish in Sugar Creek that well. And I'd never seen people up in there. But sure enough, after I won, anytime there was a federation tournament there were always a lot of boats up in Sugar Creek. I never knew how the word got out about that. But there were a couple guys in there with me, so I guess they talked. I don't know. But funny thing is, I've never caught fish in Sugar Creek like that again either. So I guess the joke's on them. Anyway, we're looking forward to the season. We're going to go out and put some wins together and run for Angler of the Year. And just go and see how fun it can be. So thanks for tuning in. We'll see you the next time on Old School and Bass with Big Tim.